Hello, everybody. Here we go again. I am back. I haven't been streaming a little for a little while, but you know what? Why not? We got Winter Cup here, 2024. Apparently, I have a feeling last year it was 2022. But anyhow, winter is confusing. It expands 2 years. Anyhow, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we got the third week of the group stages here. We got some fun matches here, and oh yeah, I almost forgot. We got casters here as well. Scout, hello,
Hello, hello.
and then we got I forget your name, Kofi T. Yeah, the person who's every person in Hidden Cup. Hello.
Right. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, yes, that is
So,
true, and 100% a fact. And also, we got matches here. We got Beanie and Adafheyesh first. I don't know how they how have they been doing so far. I guess there's a bracket somewhere.
yes, there is a bracket somewhere. Aiko's prepared.
Yes, I am. I looked into this. So this is actually the last match of the entire group here as of the time of them playing it.
Oh, okay.
So everything else is filled out. Now it's just down to the tie breaks for this match. Um, so we have 2 wins for Firelord Ethan, who is guaranteed through in the bracket so far. And that one loss goes to Ada. So Ada has 1 point here, but has lost to Pofke, who has tied Beanie. Um,
Mm,
So Ada has 1 point. Pofke has a point and a half because he lost to Firelord Ethan 7-5,
wow.
which conveniently Beanie also lost to Firelord Ethan 7-5. So with that tie of Pofke, um, Beanie actually needs to do better than Pofke's 8-4 against Ada in order to advance or tie it or do better with sweeps. Um, in order to advance. And then Ada, because he lost to Popke already, if he ties, will lose to the head-to-head tiebreaker. So Ada needs a win here as well. And Popke needs a tie or a really low win from Beanie here. So it's a very close race
Man,
between all three for second here.
man, it's scary. If Fire Lord is this good in the Winter Cup, I'd hate to see how well they are in the Summer Cup.
Certainly.
Yeah,
They get good so
Melt the
young these days.
competition.
yeah, but I mean, it's a Fire Lord. I mean, it's a winner. It should be the weakest time for him. So I don't know. Anyhow, all right,
So,
so we can get going here. Ignore that. We can look at the draft at least.
yes, so we
Yep.
have
Whoops. Let me. I forgot to update. There we go. That's the correct one.
we have uh Adaf choosing widely panned, Beanie picking picture postcards and banning gallery.
Yeah.
I think Beanie might be the only non-gallery fan in the Winter Cup at this point. And
Boo.
Adafheyesh banning Terrace.
I mean, that's Terrace is a correct ban, I would say. But yeah.
Terra seems like more of an understandable ban
Yeah,
these
yeah.
days.
Terrace is like
Gallery
a
is a crowd pleaser.
yeah. Terrace has always been kind of like mixed reception sort of venue. I mean, it certainly got better when they added the bar and the statues, but still, it's one of those ones where you just gotta have that mindset to want to play Terrace.
It's also interesting batting out of his own set.
Yeah, yeah. That is
Yeah.
Would rather play Redwoods 3 of 5 or 4 of
yes.
8 than Gallery.
Yeah, both yeah, 2 redwoods were fine with that, but gallery, no. All right. Well, anyhow, we can get on to it.
So we are on pub.
Yes.
We have Adafheyesh as our glorious general.
Yep.
If we're all ready,
Yep. Go
and
for it.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, playing it. With a very snappy take control from Adaf and an immediate chase of our selection target.
Jay's going to take the first flirt in a second here. Comes out as just a white test, but 34% for the close, so certainly in room for a 3 flirt there easily.
And the pacing here, we've got a lot more time than I think people are used to at this point on pub. 4 of 7 hasn't had an outing for a while. So
Certainly.
we can afford to just sit and time a flirt here if we like. Which does seem like it's going to be the plan.
Yeah, that's definitely viable here on this 407 pub. Certainly different from the usual snipe arcade we've been used to for the past like year or two. Definitely a lot easier when you're not having 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to flirt and do 2 other missions.
Adaf, apparently already bored by this party, has taken a trip to Windows and seen how much time has passed.
Looked like we were going to go back to our ST, but she bailed there on the conversation on our way back. So we're just going to head over here by the SDA Duke.
This is a little bit of a useless conversation. It looks slightly less spy-like than heading out, realizing your ST isn't where you want her, and going to wait at Windows, sadly. I imagine we're going to swap conversations soon.
Yeah, and Red Dress heads back to a convo right between Teal and Taft there, but Teal has moved now. And we're going to take that chance to go right up next to her and get our second flirt here.
And I said we had a lot of time, but it's now 2 minutes. That's a green to us, so we're at 85% flirt.
If any flirt will do it now.
So flirt's almost done. Oh, and we are going to sick bug the ambassador. Or at least
and we are not high lit for it, so... Oh, we are shot, though. And that's going to be a first point for Beanie.
No indication he saw that up until the shot.
Yeah. But not having any of it, nonetheless.
Adaf just going a little bit too close into Red Dress, and we see that hand there.
Yeah.
Beanie being relatively controlled, taking a second to figure out whether he wanted to shoot for the bug or wait, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, definitely just solid nonetheless.
So the first game goes to Beanie. I think somewhat expected sniper win on pub. And let's see if he can win as Wheels on pub. If we're ready. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I
feel like Wheels gets played a lot less often these days now that Lush Mossens isn't
so active. We are cheese flirting with 51%. That's some really nice mission progress for Beanie there. And it doesn't look like it's going to go punished.
Wheeling it on by and straight back. We're not respecting the sniper for flirt tracking at all at this point.
Not at all. I mean, you don't need to worry about flirt tracking if we just hit the screen here. That's just going to be a mission done with 3 minutes to go. And there we go, right there.
So now I imagine, well, I mean, what's the game plan? I inspect probably something presumably speedy, because to make most of the sniper not being ready to take a shot yet. We could even inspect swap contact.
Yeah.
GA's a little bit sadly alone at the moment.
I was going to say, yeah, the contact is looking a little rough right now in terms of who has real and who doesn't, as well as 4 people inside the bar right now. We are going to go over to a statue to get our inspect here.
We do
get the highlight.
Yes, take that highlight. But if we're probably not planning to do bug as our most preferred mission as Wheels anyway, so it's probably not going to matter too much.
Yeah. Hiding around here in the corner. Windows.
Or perhaps stopping to avoid getting stuck on the doors as Wheels.
Or that. Now, I think 2 minutes on the clock here. Kind of feels like we're going to go for BB here. Yep. And then we might just direct Purloin or something here.
It feels a little bit like Courtyard all of a sudden. It's so we've got the three missions: flirt, inspect, contact, and now what is it? It seems like we lost a lot of time from 3 minutes where we had flirt done to now. Yeah,
we definitely lost some time, and also that's a bug. That is a bug attempt, and we're shot for it.
the famous wheels bug as a highlight. I think maybe if we time that better, it could be okay. But
Also, just
in this
very unlucky
case,
that Amba just heads over to Windows there instead of going with us, so our arm is just swinging there. We're waving to our sniper here.
yes, demonstrating the full glory of the wheels walking bug.
Truly.
So we have pub as a split, which I think that's reasonably understandable.
Yeah, I'd say 4-7. It's I would say is pretty reasonable that we go for um just sniper party here.
And into Veranda,
Speaking
also
of sniper party,
yes, not particularly known for its spy sweeps, but let's see if we can be surprised with
certainly.
Adafheyesh on teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And the
And we're just
immediate
gonna
white
add
time
time.
ad.
We're just gonna add time.
I
I mean, we
mean,
got 5 missions. Now we got 5 minutes to do them.
we've got 5 minutes to stand in a conversation alone, sipping our drink. IST nowhere in sight.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we try and head over to find him, but he's walking the other way, passes right by us. We're gonna bail out of that conversation and join him though, chase after, and see how our first flirt goes.
I'm a little bit disappointed
It's
we didn't get to make more use of the busyness at the start of this party. Now everything's sort of settled down a bit.
Yeah, I think we could have done something to get at least some kind of hardtail off, possibly in that chaos there, maybe a microfilm or something. But we do get a 51% on our flirt there, so nothing to snuff at.
And I think against Beanie, who tends to like for statues, fingerprints, and literally any other mission that he can think of, spending a bit of time chilling can be a decent game plan, especially on these bigger venues. Just wait for some other highlights to build up, which at this point, I'd say a good third of the party is highlight, and we're not one of them. So this isn't too bad going really on Spy side.
Yeah, that's definitely not a bad thing. But the progress we have to show for that lack of a highlight might also not be a good thing. I'm gonna see what
And
Ada does with
there's,
this book, though.
I was thinking we might try and join RST, but not in that tiny conversation circle. Instead, we're heading for windows where we might be seeing another time ad. Or we might just be trying to, acclimatize the book to being, round this side of the venue where it doesn't, in fact, belong.
Well, either way, we're gonna walk back around to another useless conversation here. 2.5 minutes, half a mission done.
It looks like now is
Uh,
when we're going to try and drop this book in the incorrect bookcase. Um,
and Beanie's not staring it down here.
Almost entirely off screen. We're definitely seen here, but it doesn't seem like we're taking
Or
any suspicion for that. So looks like we've got one hardtail done, but we're getting to 2 minutes with half a flirt and transfer done.
oh, here comes hopefully the other half of that flirt. No, Salmon is gonna bail on us, and now it's looking really rough for Ada here.
Uh,
And
we
we're in convo.
we're in convert. It was slightly awkward getting here. Oh, what a
And
bug!
what a bug.
That was. I mean, we
Just
almost didn't even need the pillar conversation cover. That was
yeah,
very nice timing.
we're
And
just yeah, one of the few non-highlights, and we're just not gonna be watched for that bug there at all, and we just get it away cleanly. There's that second flirt, but it's only a white. Still 2 missions and one more flirt to go.
we're immediately out of that conversation. I think that's what we needed
That
to
we
see here.
are. Inspects. It's looking like we might just be going for an inspect swap after we flirt.
I think there's a fingerprint here, though.
Is there? Oh, there is, but we're shot anyway.
It
Wow.
possibly
That
a little bit
was,
of an early shot. I'm
yeah.
Beanie seems to be giving absolutely no indication of who he's suspicious of before
Yeah,
he
this
decides to
was,
take that shot. So with the microfilm was seen, I don't think there's any world in which the bug was seen. That was just so nicely timed.
yeah, that's really interesting. I'm not sure. Because Beanie's been highlighting for first inspect, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so we know we're pretty sure by the fact that we're not highlight there that Beanie isn't, we don't have full inspects there. I guess just more on top of the bug and the transfer than we thought. Not sure.
Or, just vibes-based gaming.
Just vibes, just gaming. Could absolutely be the I'm more sure that you're the spy than I am that you're not done.
So, seeing what Adaf can do on the sniper side of Veranda, which I think might be one of his favorite venues. So, let's see if
Yeah,
Beanie can surprise him. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
we're starting right on top of the amber here, but we're not gonna do anything about it. Probably for the better because we're out in the open there.
Instead, we're going to flirt with Irish, who is not our seduction target at Windows. Sip our drink, see what's happening in the party. And wouldn't you know, we are heading for our seduction target.
A very surprising start here for the missions. Number passing by us again.
And it's another green test. Beanie, of course, historically basically the highest green test rate. But I think since the action test leaderboards came around, people have been practicing action tests more, and he isn't quite alone up at the peak, but still, it helps with this sort of green flirt.
Well, the green test for that fingerprint, though, not going to come off, unfortunately. So, getting a bit of deja vu with 51% flirt and a book in hand.
But it's an action
This
test
one,
microphone, but perfectly behind pillar. It's. I mean, if that was intentionally timed, that's beautiful. Back in conversation, and Benny immediately showing me that I was apparently talking shit as we had a white test
oh, we're
followed
going to
by a
wrong on
walking
bug,
bug.
though. We're not highlit, but it is also known for pretty minimal lighting, so we could definitely have more suspicion on that bug than we think.
I think that's something that we can definitely be credited with.
Oh, yeah.
And not. I mean, not having the highlighter is still great for us. It'll make finishing this microfilm a little bit easier. On the other hand, if Ada has any suspicion on us at all, we will be watched so much more at books when we try to finish this, if we do. But with 2
Yeah.
minutes left, I think we're going to need to do some kind of microfilm, and there's just narrowing options of what we can do.
I think we might wait for Amba to leave his book behind and go for a print here at books. No, we're going to leave. What is our next mission of choice? And the other two after that with flirt.
We're going for the risky window flirt and managed to get it off before General leaves. Because General has a drinking problem and is busy trying to down his pint at Windows.
Banana bread.
Here comes
So
the
then we go
contact.
straight for the BB. View
That's another
out.
mission checked off, and only 3 highlights, which is kind of amazing on Veranda, really. Not interested in white purloining, so we're back around the venue with a minute to go.
And 1.5 missions to find. Looks like we're going to go for the other half of that first one at a very tight bookcase that might get us watched for it. Does get us a fingerprint, though.
And it looks like we're not being watched.
We get the green
at
micro
all
and we're
at
not being
books.
watched.
seems like we've gotten that buy entirely clean, but are we gonna survive a second print? There's one just gone down on statues, but it's had no time to cook at all.
I think Beanie's actually going for a print over on this set of statues. I believe Ambit just left one. Yes, he did.
And
And
it
there's
seems
no
like we might have
highlight. We're
just
not being
flown
aimed on.
entirely under the radar here.
Beanie just with a completely clean spy win there.
That's quite the achievement against Ada's sniper, especially on Veranda here, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ada with one of the notoriously high sniper win rates from the major league back last year. So it's definitely an impressive win, and I think a pretty good shot against Ada there in terms of the sight game here to kind of say, hey, I'm gonna win, you know, a spy game against you, a very good sniper on your favorite venue, which is notoriously very sniper sided.
Yeah, it's definitely just gonna be putting a lot of pressure on Ada as time goes on. On the other hand, we're going to have 2 batches of Redwoods in a row, which could upset. Normally, I'd say, we've swept a venue. Now we just have to hold sniper. I'd say that with Redwoods, especially 3 or 5 Redwoods coming up, anything could happen. Um, as as we see, Tex here ready to go. In
Yep.
3, 2, 1, playing it.
Gonna take quick control of AI yet again, and we're gonna follow our ST right to the bar here, but get bounced away.
And it wasn't a bug, but it could have so easily been.
It could have been credited, that's for sure. It doesn't look like it was, but we also know that Beanie seems to be on top of bugs without necessarily highlighting, so
And we're about 30 seconds into the game with 5 highlights already, seemingly for blue books, green books, and going to bar.
yeah.
Will red books get us the highlight?
Not
Zero
sure. We're
cycle.
staring
Oh,
through a tree on that red.
we are cheating. That was a 0 cycle leave, and now we're at blue, but Amber's right next to us. And it's a bit of a slam there.
We're not
So
even
fun.
highlit.
We're not highlight. I don't know how much weight to put on that from Beanie's sniper, but so far
I mean,
at least it's.
it looked like while we were at Red Books there, it looked like Beanie was just kind of staring into a tree there, trying to see the right side of the party. And I don't know if we were actually seen with that book there.
No, I think it's quite likely that if Beanie didn't see when we got to blue bookcase, he might have entirely missed it, and even missed the slight etiquette break of putting the book back so early. We are chasing our seduction target to bar and getting our second flirt, only to 84%.
84%. Which, not a finish, but we can just find any conversation with Sari again. We'll be good to go on that mission. Got a Purloin delegate. Looks like we might have a way to mission completion here if we take this BB, delegate, and go see RST over on the other conversation. Do the
Here comes
BB.
the BB. A white test with only Smallman out.
Only
Not too bad.
And not even gonna get Lolet for it because he's just not seen behind the combo.
There goes here off to get our guest list for us. We were lucky with the spacing. It could have been Twin who was a low light getting the. There goes the list already. There's our flirt. There's Mission Win Countdown and 0 sniper reaction.
Some low lights, but it's not going to be a shot. And we just have a really nice response to that Veranda win. And I think it's pretty good sign that it is not shaken by that sweep there on his own favorite, or one of his favorites.
Yeah, I really like the book cheese play. As soon as you've got that past,
Right.
Sniper doesn't feel like they need to shoot, and nicely done. So
Yeah,
on to Beanie's
certainly.
turn. As our here who took the list last time. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Now the
Not going to
question,
those back books and getting a book immediately.
yeah, not
Instead,
gonna do
going
that.
for the
Just gonna
ST.
chase the ST as we do. And
At
it's
this
gonna
point, you could
be
almost
green for
start low lighting
51.
someone who just goes to statues alone at the start of the game.
Yeah, certainly a noticeable habit between, I mean, a lot of players, really. It's very common that people will just go for that first flirt just because it can be a very involved mission having to, you know, find this random person and get close to them enough times. And we just transfer a microphone.
We just transferred, and I think with all the sniper movement and, the tree issue, I think that was entirely off screen. So that's a nice start. And I think the other thing about Redwoods is one forgets that it's quite a fast timer. So getting
Yes.
the second green here is pretty big, and a green contact.
And now we can just finish. So I was gonna say we can, inspect, transfer. Yeah.
Yeah, the only issue is that there is absolutely nothing happening in this party now. Everyone is
That
just
is
locked in conversation.
also true. And our Amba is not really in well, this might be our chance. Amba is definitely in a more dangerous position, and we are not looking at books at all. Beanie's gonna go to bar though. Are you gonna purloin with this transfer here?
We're going to go for a print.
Oh, I see.
This is a little I don't know if we've lined up a bookcase with a print on it to finish on, or whether we've sort of given up on the idea of transfer. But it's going to take a little bit of time to chug this drink.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think Beanie's keeping options open here, so nothing wrong with that just yet. Could get a
Nothing wrong
little
with that, but the
scary.
timer is ticking
Yes.
down.
But we're inspecting as we sip our drink here, and we're just going to transfer, get some more inspects and Disney shot. So it doesn't matter what what we do in that last minute because someone else died.
Someone else died. Now, what did he do?
I mean, he started out at Green Books actually, so that's finishing inspects right there.
Finishing
So if he is
inspects. Looks like real contact. There must be bug credit or something in there.
most likely, let's see here,
I mean, in Redwoods, you can. I mean, I'd say even more than
almost
10, you can
always,
just
yeah.
assume that everyone has bug. So, indeed, the trees, or in fact, the spies win the first round of Redwoods, but we have a second round of Redwoods.
Just check back. It does look like Disney went to Blue Books at some point in the middle of there, so maybe a transfer credit.
That makes sense. Well, you can't have transfer credit now because transfer swap and inspects are off for our second round of Redwoods, which I'm going to say it was worth trying Gugwoods. And I'm going to say, having tried Gugwoods, I'm not so much of a fan.
Having us be
We'll
a
see.
duo that has tried Gugwoods together. Yeah.
So we'll see what Adaf can do with this. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. I would say
Oh,
this probably plays more like balcony than anything else. Balcony with trees and one extra mission.
yeah. That or similar to that whole 3 of 5 high rise, but a little bit bigger as well. And
And the
trees.
other issue is that, I mean, I'd say that contact becomes a significantly less good mission here because there's just so many conversations. It's really, and so few guests. It's just so hard to get a good contact that isn't giving up so many lowlights.
Yeah, and we get a green flirt there, but it's only going to be 33%. And we can't just stand here. Even if we get those, it won't be good enough for a 3 flirt. So we're gonna have to find a little bit of a closer spot to our ST if we want to finish anytime soon. But she's gonna bail on us anyway, so doesn't matter.
We try for the difficult and hit it, so I think that's pretty big for our win percentage probabilities. And we don't even move.
Yeah.
We're just sticking in conversation to get the second flirt.
Yeah, and Amber's got that blue book there, so there's definitely going to be an opportunity for another print at some point.
Because with this mission selection, Purloin's sort of technically there, but unless you get a real busy bar rush, it's really hard to pull off with this guest count. So it sort of becomes bug or fingerprint. And if we can get a difficult fingerprint, that's just, I mean, when there's so few fingerprints to go around and it's so easy for the sniper to track, I think that'll help a lot. And it basically comes down to how solid Beanie is on his fingerprints and how much of a threat other guests are.
All right. We are going to head over to the statue next to Green Books, and we're going to get that green flirt for a finish on the first mission here. Minute 10 and a mission and a half to go. It looks like we're going to head for our contact here.
And we can't even get an inspect at our books visit because inspects is off.
That we can't.
Banana bread.
But we can get that print that Amber's about to put back away on blue books, but it doesn't matter. Our ST is dead.
And speaking of prints, I think our ST might have in fact completed prints.
Did she? I didn't.
There was one print at Green Books.
Wasn't it? Oh yeah, there was.
There was a print at Green Books, and there was a briefcase. I think Beanie missed our briefcase and thought there was still a print there. So Beanie, in fact, on top of the fingerprints, just not us doing the fingerprints in this case.
Yeah, looks like it. Unfortunate that was actually the fourth pickup on that briefcase there that Irish had. So a very dead case.
Chalk it up to the trees. And
Very
onto
dead
Beanie,
case for very dead ST.
Who has swapped Purloin for Inspect, and keeping all the rest of the missions the same. As Boots in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I think I kind of like this switch out for missions here. When you want kind of just with how Civ shoddy this Redwoods has been, both Redwoods have been so far, with 2 out of 3 games being a Civ shot. I think going for full Softails out of your 5 missions here that you can do is not a bad idea.
And yes, basically the more that AIs can build up threat profile and try and cover us up a bit better. We're going for an entirely easy briefcase. Very much. Oh, and a cute little sip
Cheeky
break.
little sip.
That's a nice wee touch. But we are very definitely seen with this case. So I think if we want to survive, we'll have to either silent game and get something else by, or go for a very cooked print, which at the moment, with Amber standing happily in conversation, isn't looking very likely.
Yeah, I mean we do have the red book there. That is certainly there, but gonna
There's
be
our
pretty
seduction
fresh on
target.
Ada's
Are we going
mind.
to join them? We are.
And the DA here.
This would
Could go
actually be
for
a
2
pretty
missions.
good contact.
Yeah, all but plain out, and everyone is in except for General here, but he does have a print, so we may want to wait to see if he can join a convo.
Which, why would he do that?
Why would he? When he can wander over to get another print at bar. Oh boy. The
I think a
Amber
lot of
rejects
this-
the drink though, actually, so he doesn't get the print.
Nope, there it goes. So I think a lot of this comes down to how aware of the party Beanie is, because if he's noticed this, we could almost just wait for General to be in conversation and do a banana bread and have... Oh, okay, well, at this point where General's getting his, third print, it starts to get a bit harder to frame him so well.
Yeah, it looks especially bad because it's not even our third print because Amba didn't actually end up taking a drink at bar. So it just looks like General's fishing for prints there and out of desperation goes for a second case. If we can get him in for a contact, that would be really dangerous for Ada.
At the moment, it's not looking like General has any inclination to talk to anyone, though. So,
We're
is
gonna go for a
Beanie
print,
gonna
but
go?
20 seconds to find a third mission. And General's not joining a convo. We're gonna have to hope that someone else can take the shot for us here.
Instant white contact looks a little bit bad, and there will be overtime.
And the end of
There
red.
will be about 3 or 4 seconds of overtime. We're shot anyway before it even happens.
A very confident shot there. It was a little bit rough there at the end. The party just sort of dried up, and that's Ada sweeping back to bring it to a tie at this point, 4-4. Beanie losing that hard won edge on Veranda. As we go into Courtyard, which again not the most spy favored of venues. If we're ready.
Yep, we are.
And 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Beloved Queen here. Wrong seduction target though. It's gonna be a couple brownie points off on Ada's score here. Luckily that doesn't affect the match result.
And you know, I'm busy giving him back points for having taste, so it comes out about even. We're a little bit mashed into this conversation, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say starting out that way is fine. I think, not really too suspicious when everyone's kind of mashed together right at the start. We keep getting mashed into conversations like this, it might start looking a little scary for us.
Speaking of, we're leaving that conversation, doing a bit of a loop-to-loop and joining our seduction target again.
And we just two flirt. I'm not gonna do any kind of purloin shenanigans just yet here.
Well, as is tradition, one must wait until the contact and inspects have been done before doing purloin. Which, at this point, it's time for the inspect. So far, honouring the time-honoured Courtyard script. White swap.
Oh.
White swap. White
With
swap
a slam?
And the end of red.
Where I think we got laser lag there. Because we tried to sort of dump the statue and run, and the laser just caught us at that very end.
Yeah, I think
we were dead in the water either way, but that might have just drawn the sniper's attention a little more.
Yeah, I think Ada just kind of misreading the rotation there a little bit based on the laser lag.
Trying to do any kind of Courtyard laser plays when you're opposite sides of the world can be a little bit risky.
Yeah, certainly can be, because I mean, by the time they start rotating away, they can be right on the other side in actuality. By the time you actually do something.
So it's not too bad. It's Courtyard. We can just split it here. We'll be fine. Beanie with Kane, maybe looking for a bug. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
If not a bug, we're at least looking for some gaming here, as the famed emergency Kane. Though not really an emergency situation for Beanie here, but well, it might be after that condo entry.
We sort of NASCAR'd around behind our ST, but it's fine. We have a flirt.
It's fine.
There's
We have a bail.
a few early statue visitors, which is always nice, getting some highlights in the party.
Yeah, that'll definitely help Beanie's case here. Especially if we end up becoming one of those highlights, if we just sneak it in the middle there. Bouncing around on wheels a little bit. And again with an awkward convo entry. Let's join our ST.
Yeah, quite respectfully across conversation, having missed getting quite close enough for the first green flirt, we're giving up on the chance of a 2 flirt, which I think is sensible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much Ada really camps flirt on a venue like this, but there's nothing to be lost from being a little bit careful.
Yeah, I think, I mean, as long as you're mostly flirting in conversations, it's pretty hard to track flirt here. I mean, considering it's windows, statues, or conversations, and for the most part, people stay in CCs.
My main worry here is that we're
Oh, we
we're
green
green
swap.
swapping.
Okay, we have a flirt that we can do, but what's our fourth mission? Before someone swaps, preferably.
Okay,
It's
well
not going
that's
to be.
flirt. Oh, that's a bit of a.
Oh.
We're a highlight, and we're just immediately bailing and immediately white contacting.
Banana bread.
Was that swap a mistake? Oh no, we just loaded our swapper. Do we see it?
And the swap's on screen, but is it being looked at? I don't think it is.
And Beanie's just gonna win. Just gonna win a spy game there.
It looked a little bit terrible without rushing around, but I guess if you miss that, then Wheels is a low light, and it's easy to miss a swap on Courtyard.
Yeah, I suppose Beanie just showing Ada how it's done on the swap and run there.
Well, I think how it's done is just hit greens.
Just hit greens and just talk and bail, I suppose.
Yeah, talk and bail as a highlight. It's fine. No one will notice. So Beanie with that sweeping Courtyard and has secured the tie, which isn't enough, as we said at the start.
Is not enough for Beanie, but is enough for Ada to not be able to advance at this point, which that can be a huge demoralizer for the rest of the last two games if you're paying attention.
So if Beanie can sweep out the set, he'll be through. Otherwise, I think it'll be sadness for both players. So Ada really wants to win. Oh, I don't know. Ada might not really want to win this
Beanie
spy
really
game.
wants
Beanie
to
wants
win.
to. Yes.
Ada's here to play spoiler at this point.
How much does he want to ruin Beanie's dreams at bracket is the question.
That is the question, indeed.
3, 2, 1, playing it. And for once, our SD settles somewhere convenient. We can drop in just next to them. I guess the question here is, if you've already missed out on your chance of bracket, do you just go for a hoon for your last game and go wild, or looks like Ada's going for the slightly more restrained approach?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good question to ask. I think there are definitely some people that, even if it's unintentional, that may, once they're like, well, I'm out, there's kind of just a moral aspect to that, and it's still part of the mental game of you don't feel the need to really try as hard, but it seems like, well, we may be a little bit idle. We're still doing stuff here.
We're just still doing stuff. We've got a 51% flirt. We're ticking down the clock a little though. Ada's spending a lot of time looking around the party, maybe trying to go for another fingerprint game.
We're just going to join our SC again, hopefully get that 2 flirt off so we can just be done with this flirt. And we have successfully seduced.
Right before our ST left as well. That was lucky timing there.
That it was. Now let's see if we can find some lucky timing to get us 3 more missions in less than 3 minutes.
Double agents in conversation, but we don't necessarily want to take that so early. I mean, the world's our oyster. We just have to pick what we want to start with.
The world is our oyster, and we just need to pick the right pearl. And
Or in fact, we are vegetarian and don't wish to engage with said oyster, which seems to be the approach taken so far.
That, or we're just staying away from pearls. It's also that.
Well, speaking of pearls,
I stand corrected.
Banana bread.
This conversation was Ada's oyster, and the pearl has left.
pearl has left. Not quite so many lowlights taken as could be. A fake lowlight onto Kane. But we're still sitting here with a minute 30 to go, and flirt and contact done and nothing else started.
I wonder if Ada actually is really trying to play spoiler here with a frame game, hoping for a civ shot is almost what this game might look like. Because we're really idling here with just those two missions.
We've still got our options open. We could always sort of swap and crash bug at the end, but we're really not doing anything else.
Yeah,
Unlike
I mean,
Kane, who is now going for, I think, his second print.
and he does have some inspecs. He gets shot, and both of these players are not going to advance into their bracket. And that's very good news for Popke.
I don't think anyone had Ada particularly out in groups. This group has been a bit of a wild ride, I think. So, all that remains is for Beanie to take one valedictory lap around Modern. As running it back as the civ shot target, hoping not to be the target of a bullet this time. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
think
not sure what the opposite of a victory lap is, but I suppose that's what this game is for both players here. Really
it's
just
the delegate
unfortunate
cheese.
for both. It's delegate cheese. That's what it is.
You know, dessert course, cheese board. Taking out a book to make, to make this delegate cheese seem even more unlikely. How could we delegate when we've got a book in hand?
How could we? That quite easily, Beanie says, sending Twin over to the bar to take that list with a very busy bar too.
Well, it's A, we got unlucky in that it's a suspected double agent, and B, I'm not sure if it's even going to take given the queue. Toby isn't exactly rushing to get through this crowd.
Is certainly true. Worst case scenario here, as long as Ada didn't see any kind of animation break from Twin leaving the conversation.
There goes, right as Twin is taking the drink, there goes the timer.
That's really rough.
I think that could have been a really good purloin with that bar rush cover.
Yeah, that absolutely
slightly too much cover in this case.
Just modern purloin being notoriously the most brutal of all the delegate timers there. They're all a minute, but somehow this minute just seems to go by just too fast every time.
I mean, it's just such a big venue. Beanie going for the difficult briefcase and hitting it this time, so that might be the first difficult fingerprint we've had. And at this point, the book we've got in hand has been out for so long that I don't imagine it's going to go back correctly.
Most likely not here. We're going to go for our first flirt and get kind of stared at for this being so close to Amba just because Taft and Teal here. They're quite the duo and we're trying to break them up.
Yeah, it almost looks like Golden Bug range, but I think we might be just a couple of pixels to the left of Taft here.
Yeah, I think we're just out of it, but I also think we might have intentionally stayed out of that Golden Bug range as much as we could, because we're very in Teal. There's
Well, that was a sick bug, I think.
I mean, and we're
Into
putting this book away in the wrong shelf, and we're not being shot. That's
yet.
certainly a good sign for Beanie so far, but we
If
do
we can get
have.
this book away, we only need to finish Flirt and have one more print to win, which is seeming pretty good for a last sort of for fun spy game.
Yeah. We're actually gonna go for a contact though. I'm not sure how much I love this as opposed to just having a silent game here.
Banana bread.
And there's going to be a decent few lowlights. Oh, well,
Oh,
okay.
and we are gonna suffer the consequences for that.
A few lowlights taken and then an immediate shot. And I think Ada was maybe more on top of that bug than he let on.
Yeah,
That seemed like a
I
very confident
think
shot.
so.
There is a few frames where that can be seen to be out a little bit further than it should be.
Yeah, I feel like the end of the arm there is definitely covered by teal, but I feel like just the general motion of it, and also you can see the arm is out a little bit by the shoulder there, but just a nice catch from Ada there, and
A
that's
nice
gonna
catch
bring
from
us.
Ada, but not quite nice enough really for the set, which is a bit of a lose-lose situation for both players. You were saying at the start, what Pofka wanted was some sort of draw, and that's what we've got.
Pofke needed a tie, and guess what, Pofke? Christmas came a little late because you got a great present today.
So that finishes out possibly one of the most unexpected group finishes, with Firelord completely stonking into bracket and Adaf and Beanie into the penguin pool.
Yeah.
So that's that match.